Welcome to day 81 of playing chess every day until I reach 1500 elo. Currently we're at 1214 after a draw that we had yesterday. And let's go ahead and jump right into a game here. We're up against a 1209, about the same rating, and gonna get a Carl Khan set up, I think. Played e4. Taking a moment. Okay, I don't know what that is. I think I'm still just gonna play Carl Khan setup, but yeah, I'm not familiar with this. Okay. So I could play here, and then we kind of, it's not an advanced Carl Khan because it's C, no, F4, F4 instead of D4. So I'm not sure how that affects. If I go here and he goes here, then I go back, then do I get trapped? He's able to here, here, back. He can push, and then I do get trapped. So I don't think I can develop my bishop out. Right? But there must be a downside to this. So how can we take advantage of this weird setup that he has? I don't know, but I'm kind of scared of this because I think that I get trapped. Actually, I guess I could go here. Oh yeah, I could go here if he pushes, and then I'm attacking this. Probably needs to block with the knight because the bishop would be unguarded. Okay, so maybe that's fine. But then if he pushes this after he blocks with the knight, then I just take. I think I can survive it. I'm a little scared of getting trapped though. Here, here, here. He needs to protect the rook, so he needs to block with the knight because the bishop can't block. There's not a pawn that can block. So after he blocks with the knight, then if he pushes, then I take. I mean, but then I am still giving up my bishop for a knight, but he'll have pretty weird pawn structure, I think. So, okay, let's just see what happens because I think it's not, doesn't get me trapped right away. Oh yeah, I guess I could have also just come back, which I kind of just was oblivious to. But after I push the pawn, then I have the threat of getting trapped. I guess it's not quite gonna work though. I think I'll connect this. The knight can't really develop to where it typically wants to go. Probably still push c5 like I typically would to develop this knight here to c6. Okay, he develops the knight right away. So then if he goes here, then I can just take because the knight is preventing the queen from protecting. So we don't need to worry about that yet. Let's just connect this. Pushes that pawn. Kind of a weird setup that he's going for here. He's creating, these two are weaknesses for now, but he can, they're not really long term because he can protect them, but he also does give me this outpost potentially for the future. And let's just push c5 like I typically would because that opens up this development. I would play c5 in the Carl Khan in the advanced variation, so just going to stick with that idea. Now we also do have check here. The key is fine. He has several ways to block, so. Okay, well, I'm going to play the same move I play into his check in the Carl Khan, which is this. Trade. And now there's no way for the bishop to get trapped because there's no, once I go here, there's no pawn that can threaten me because they're all pushed forward. This is a weird move because now he's kind of tying his bishop to these pawns. It's not very useful. But he is guarding this one. And he is double attacking this one. So typically I normally would bring the queen here. So we have this pawn twice defended. I could take and he takes. but then my queen can't really come out. So yeah, I think I'd rather just bring the queen out, attack this pawn, and add some pressure on this one, although it is defended 3 times for now. So let's just go for that. I think we'll move this bishop and then route the knight over here to put pressure on d4. We can only get really like 3 attackers on d4 because the knight, the queen, and the pawn. It's hard to, it can't get the light square bishop attacking it, and the dark square bishop, it's not really realistic, I think, to line it up with d4 because I'd have to have it like over here or something. So I can only get 3 attackers, and he's always going to have ways to defend with more than 3, but at least it puts a little bit of pressure on his position. We are pressuring the pawn here as well. It pushes that. So now the main thing I'm noticing is that he has quite a few weaknesses. His king isn't going to be super safe anywhere. I guess he could castle here, and he does have these 2 pawns protecting him, but a lot of his pawns are pushed pretty far forward, and he has weaknesses over here. If I give check right now, he can just block. I don't want to get rid of this knight actually as a defender here. Maybe I will try to get rid of the knight. Maybe I'll just pin it and then just trade it. It will open up his... No, it doesn't open up his rook, no mind, because he's not going to take back with that pawn. Also try to attack this pawn because I'm already pressuring it. I think I probably should start with... I do want to get the knight out. So let's start by just trying to maybe trade this bishop off for this knight, put more pressure on d4, and then use this path to get my knight out. So let's give that a go. I still don't see any use of these checks. I could block or just cover with the bishop, and I can't quite win this pawn. Now if we got rid of this knight, and then we gave a check, he blocks. He does block the queen from protecting, so now I think after I take here, I have 2 attackers here, I could just win the pawn. Actually, I could already win it because the knight's already pinned. Should I take first and then try to win it and then take it? Or here? Yeah, I think well, I need to take first because I'd be taking back with my queen. So if he took the queen, then I take his queen, and then it's not that great. So I think I need to take first. Let's do that. Oh wait, actually he can retake with this knight. Well, actually missed that. So his knight will still guard. So that was a mistake. I was thinking he was going to just take with the queen. So that move was kind of useless, but I did want to kind of clear the bishop out to make... Oh, he did take with the queen. Okay. Well, I should be able to win the pawn then now. Thought he would take back with the knight to maintain protection here. So let's just take. Make sure there's nothing else. I mean, he's not really attacking anything. His knight can't go anywhere here. His queen can't... I mean, if he attacks this pawn, it's still guarded by the bishop. So yeah, let's just take. And then his bishop also is going to have to go back because it's just going to be under attack by the pawn. I would be happy to just trade this pawn off because it will be hard to defend, I think. Actually, I could just defend it with this. I probably should just focus on developing though. Could go here, threaten to take this and remove his castling rights. We'll need to guard it with something else. Guess with the queen. The queen, yeah, you'd have to go here. If I go here, just take. Actually, no, I can't push this pawn at all because it's pinned here. So, yeah, I think I should just focus on getting the knight out to defend here. If he pushes this, I'll have to jump away. He'll probably jump back, but it would be really weakening for his king side. So, okay, let's just start with developing the bishop, though. I think that that seems reasonable. This is still guarded. If he double attacks it, I'll push this pawn to defend. So let's just develop the bishop and the knight here. So now he can't castle because the king is the only defender of the knight for now. And I think I still want my knight to route the same way. Because if he does kick us, it's just very weakening, even though I'll have to go back, I think. Still attacking the pawn. Should I just trade? Take. I don't have enough time to guard the pawn with the knight. So let's simply guard it with this pawn. Only thing is it does cut my bishop off. If I go here and then he goes here, I go here, or I could just trade for the knight if I need to. Okay, so let's just guard it like that for now. Keep this protected, and his bishop is just looking at a wall here for now. I'd like to get castled. Not sure I know what the point of that move was. Rook's lining up with this pawn, but this pawn is not under any kind of threat. And it's also, like, it's in line with the queen, but this isn't going to open up that easily, I don't think. I don't know what the idea behind that one is. Definitely sure, I think it's time to develop this knight. See any other attacking ideas? So let's develop. Let's go ahead and castle. His king is pretty safe over there for now. But this pawn is definitely going to be a target, I think. Because he'll be forced to push this and weaken his king side to protect it if we can attack it. Should I push any other pawns like that? No, because then he just double attacks this. Yeah, this pawn structure here is pretty weird. I'm not used to whatever is going on here. I think I'll just castle first. Or do I go here first? Go here, am I threatening anything right away? I don't think so. Did also make it so the queen is the only defender of the knight. So if we could get rid of the queen there, we could take the knight, but I don't see a way to remove the queen. Here, yeah, I'm not threatening anything. Let's just castle. Comes over. If he hops into here, how threatening is that? Well, that will be threatening mate. Probably will just push this to prevent the knight from coming in. I don't really want to have to deal with that once he's already here, because then it's a lot harder to handle it. Could be. I could also just go here because that blocks the queen from threatening, but then if he does push this pawn, I'll have to move, and then there could still be a renewed threat of mate. So yeah, I think I'll just push this to protect against that idea. He is also attacking the pawn, but it's guarded by a pawn, so I think we're okay. This pawn is potentially like overloaded at some point. It could be because it's defending the bishop and the pawn, but the queen is also defending the bishop for now. So yeah, let's just push this. Okay. Giving me this pawn. This is still guarded. If I take this pawn and he pushes, I can still take here, or I can take back like that. So I think I can just take the pawn, right? He's putting all these attackers on this, but as long as I still keep this pawn guarding it, And this square, the b4 square, will still be protected by me 3 times after I take here. So I think I can just take. Let's just take. Believe it's okay. It will open up, if he pushes, open up an attack on the bishop, but yeah, I'm still able to just take back here with the bishop if he pushes this pawn. So it doesn't seem to work for him. So we have a little bit of a material advantage, and maybe we should look to trade down. Trying to look for a use for my knight, because here it does, I guess, guard the pawn, but the pawn's already guarded for now. So it doesn't seem that useful, and it seems like I could get chased away. So I'm wondering if there's a different route to take for my knight, maybe over here somewhere. Sure, though. And then I can also maybe put a rook here. Maybe I'll push this pawn, potentially. Queen is in line with the rook, so if he takes back, that gives him a discovered attack. So I don't know. I'm not sure if that's of any use. Maybe I should just try to go for a queen trade or something. If I go queen here, then his queen doesn't really have a lot of places to go to avoid the trade, and I would be putting pressure on this pawn. Okay. He resigns. I was not expecting that. That was a slightly shorter game than I was expecting. Was there something I missed while he resigned? Because, I mean, I'm up only 2 points. So the game definitely could have still gone in his favor. Let's check the review. Maybe there was something I missed, but I don't think so. Let's see what advantage it says that I had. That was a very early resignation. It said I have 91.1% accuracy, so I think I was playing pretty well, but it wasn't for that long. It was a pretty short game. And he had 86.2, so nothing too crazy really happened at all in that game. We just were able to win a few pawns. It says the game rating is 1950 and his is 1900, so we're very close in the game rating. Let's go through the moves. Oh yeah, let me just check. Just want to see the graph. Yeah, the graph is a pretty steady, like gradual decline in Black's favor there, but it was never majorly in my favor even when he resigned. So I don't know why he did that. Okay, what is this opening? Actually, I should have looked at in the corner. It still says I'm playing the Caro-Kann. What is his opening? E4, F4. Does it show me the opening name? I don't see the name of it here. I only see when it goes to the Caro-Kann. So I don't know. Alright, that was best. Yeah, I did spend a while thinking about this because I was scared of getting trapped. Because there have been a couple times when I did get trapped by some kind of weird early pawn move in a different opening that I wasn't used to here. So I had to take a little moment to think about that, but I realized that we should be fine. And then this was all good. It wanted me to push h5 right away, which maybe it's to create an early kingside attack, but I don't. It seems like development was more important, so I wanted to get the knight out. But either way, the move I played says it's excellent. This was best. This was all good, and now we already have an advantage here, minus 0.72. Yeah, it felt like he was playing it a little weird, and I'm not surprised it says we have a slight advantage already, especially with the bishop trap behind the pawns, and we have some ways to check and put pressure on him here. And he traded the bishop off for the knight, which didn't really seem necessary. Okay, it wanted me to develop the knight out this way. That's interesting. Maybe come straight to here and try to get rid of this bishop. And then maybe we force the bishop. Oh yeah, because the bishop would have to either go all the way back here, or if he goes off of this, we might actually, then we can actually win the pawn if the bishop blocks the queen's defense and it's only the knight left. So if I developed out that way, we might have had a nice way to either force the bishop off the board or win the pawn right away. Let's just see what it says though. Okay, it wants him to take. So it wants him to relieve the tension immediately after I go here. So it doesn't really like this threat. And yeah, minus 0.85, we already have a little bit of an advantage here. Because it's giving us a better position. It's going to allow our bishop to develop out, have this little battery going. He's going to need to defend the bishop or maybe trade it off. But then my queen's very active and his king hasn't castled yet. So yeah, instead, I went for this to try to win the pawn. And then I realized right after that he actually could just take back with a knight and then he's fine. At first I was making the assumption he would take with the queen. But then he didn't see that and then he took with the queen anyway, which was a pretty significant mistake. As it says here. So then, yeah, we were able to just win the pawn, force the bishop back, gain some tempo. All right, this was best to develop the bishop out like that. And then, oh, it wants me to go ahead and attack the rook and just place my bishop in this nice little pocket. Guess that makes sense. But instead, I supported the pawn here with the other pawn. Do some more development. It says we're up 2.4 on the eval, minus 2.4 here for black. Castle, it did want me to go ahead and push a5 right away. Which seems a little scary because it almost seems like maybe there could end up being my bishop getting trapped if both of the escapes are blocked by pawns. But I guess for now it's okay, but I would be worried about long term getting the bishop trapped by playing this right away. So yeah, I didn't play that. Said we just castled, got the king safe. This was inaccurate. This brought my advantage down a bit. I'm not sure why. Pawns are your king's first line of defense. Moving this one creates unnecessary risks. Really? I felt like it was mitigating the risk here by keeping the knight away. Doesn't seem that dangerous, especially since he doesn't have a light square bishop to like attack on this square either. Although I guess that doesn't matter because if the pawn is here or forward, it doesn't make a difference if the bishop's attacking that. Maybe the risk is that he uses the dark square bishop to sack here and open it up. Like whatever that sacrifice is called. I can't remember. There's like a name for it. Maybe that's the danger of pushing this one when he saw as the dark square bishop. But it didn't like that, and instead it preferred, once again, just pushing a5. I don't know the exact point of, but let me see. Okay, it just says a5 is best. It doesn't say anything else about it. If he pushes this, then we just take it. But what if he, like, supported it or something and then pushed it? Then I would go here. Yeah, I guess there's no way to really trap it, because if he pushes one, I take the other one as, like, an outpost, the other square here. I guess it's not that scary, but just instinctively it seems a little scary to put pawns behind the bishop on both sides like that. And I simply take his other pawn. We're up +2 materially, and I really do like my position a lot here. I feel very good about trading down, going to an endgame here. We're very active. We have good little pawn formation pretty far across the board. Bishop's active. Knight, we have a good way to activate it here potentially. Although I was trying to find another way, like a better route to maybe even get it into here or something. But yeah, I mean, the position was good, but it wasn't like completely winning. So I really don't know why he resigned, but I don't have time for a second game, unfortunately. So I'm just going to call it there. We'll keep it as a little bit of a short one today. And we gained a little bit of elo. So we're back to 1222, catching up a little bit to my all-time high, which I think was like 1234 or something. So yeah, we might be able to, if we can get another win, we might be pretty close to that tomorrow. So that'll be cool. And this has been day 81. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on day 82.